Laid off in 2009, the silver lining, and everybody gets one, even if you're still stuck in a cubicle. Deb, can you join us in the conference room for a few minutes? Those words that send collective shivers down our spines were spoken to me the morning of Inauguration Day. I have no recollection of what went on in Washington, but that's not because I was abruptly escorted down the elevator to my car. The demolition of my former high school hit me on a deeper level than that. Come on, there you go. And by the time I figured out what was going on, I was busy trying to set my soon-to-be former coworkers at ease. Sending me off to join the ranks of the unemployed was the last thing they wanted to be doing that morning. That's because I'm a blissmonger. Someone who gets the well-documented physical, psychological, and material benefits of maintaining a positive outlook. There simply are thoughts and behaviors that serve us, and those that don't, despite all the evidence to the contrary. I've lived on both sides of that fence, and I can tell you that bliss-mongering is infinitely more productive and satisfying than mongering resentment, fear, or despair. But blissmongers are human too, and from time to time, we get distracted from choosing to look at the world in a certain way other than the status quo. It's estimated that our brains create 60,000 thoughts a day. It's a lot to keep track of, but you don't have to. The only thing you need to get good at is owning what neural pathways those thoughts travel. When I first bumped into that philosophy a while back, I noticed that I felt pretty lousy when my thoughts hunkered down in pathways that I'd practiced for decades. And when I chose something different, my days slowly, over time, began to contain the deepest peace of mind I've ever known. And that's when I got busy blazing new neural pathways and telling new stories with intention. I invented something called resistance toys to help me anchor those changes in place. They're reminders that combine the power of humor and human will to break the chokehold that our stories can have on us. You know the ones, involving someone who is really good at pushing your buttons, family, work, politics, and your response is to splatter yourself against an emotional brick wall again. I put her where I could see her often because I'd proven to myself if I didn't step away from the wall, if I didn't start telling a new story, I'd be wasting more of my life, and I'd had enough of that. So by the time Inauguration Day rolled around, I'd had lots of practice telling new stories about who people were, who I was in relationship to them, and what I would allow myself to believe about that. That's not to say there weren't any sleepless nights learning how to embrace this incredible opportunity that had just been handed to me. But I knew how to proceed in the face of my fears, and that has made all the difference. Detroit and Michigan are teeming with the most amazing people who choose not to be limited by their perceived circumstances. And this room is full of them. The energy zooming around here is quite literally blowing me away. When we choose to chaperone our thoughts and shift our beliefs about what we believe is possible, truly astounding things happen for ourselves, our families, our communities, the world. My being on the stage is one of them. I used to have a story about public speaking. A month ago, I couldn't have imagined wanting to do this so much. I would have actually campaigned for the privilege. And here I am. If I can pull off that kind of miracle, anybody can. Anybody can shift their beliefs to those that serve. And so can you, because you rock. Remember that. Thank you.